Welcome back to another episode of Dialogue Tree. We've reached 14, and we have Daniel Padilla, as always, and known as DPAD328 sometimes in some circles.
That is who I am.
Also known as Megadolling DP.
I would appreciate if you wouldn't expose all my aliases on this show, man. They're aliases for a fucking reason.
But we have a little special segment we've got coming up. But first, before we both forget again, please update us on the status of your computer.
Oh, thanks, man. I'm actually using my new computer to record this episode. I'm sure Cam and Owen might be happy to hear that. But yeah, them too, and then whoever else listens to us consistently. I'm sure you were all happy to know that I finally have my computer in my possession, and it's quite cool.
And it does have, you said it has Windows.
Yeah, it does have Windows. So whoever reviewed these computers earlier, we talked about this. They were either wrong, or they got a defective product, or they just don't know shit how to do anything.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's right. No, I did have Windows. I could run everything properly. I had a little bit of a scare that I didn't know how to activate it.
Oh,
not activate it, but register it, I guess. I wanted to change my background to the Shovel Knight thing, and then it wouldn't let me because it said that I hadn't registered my Windows. And I was like, okay, but I didn't get a code anywhere or anything. In the end, I just had to troubleshoot it, and it just registered automatic.
Oh, good. I don't know why I didn't just do it.
It's weird, man. It's weird. But I did add all the essentials. I did add a pirated version of Windows 2010.
Essential.
Yeah, and I did add Shank 2, which I haven't had the chance to play a lot, but that is also an essential file to have on my computer. You and I will get to playing that soon, I hope.
What is Windows 2010?
I meant Office 2010. Oh, my bad. Yeah, no, I meant Office 2010.
Okay, which would be Vista, I guess.
Yeah, just about. And I don't care, right? It's still compatible with the most recent file types, I think. It should be anyway. So yeah, my computer is up and running, man. Thank you for looking out for this entire process of me acquiring my new computer.
I mean, I remember last time you even had it and you just forgot to say anything about it.
Yeah, you're right.
And I knew that if we talked about anything else, I would completely forget
about it. We would
just
fucking forgotten. Yeah. But anyway, thank you, Matthew. Moving on. Super Bowl Sunday. I understand that you are over in Miami right now covering the Super Bowl for the show.
That's right. Absolutely. It did end 2 hours ago, but I will say it was okay.
Okay. Is there any particular takeaways? Were you able to talk to anyone involved?
I did speak to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson for a few minutes. He actually was just there enjoying himself. All those segments were pre-recorded, so he had nothing to do all day. He was just hanging out, eating some cheese fries.
Oh, excellent.
He's not really the kind of guy who has a lot to say to you.
Were you able to try any of those cheese fries?
No, would you mess with The Rock?
No, you're right. I wouldn't.
Come on.
How's the weather down there?
The weather was balmy. Pretty nice getaway from the bitter New England cold. Right. The tickets though are $3,500 or something.
Holy shit, dude. Yeah. So because we had to send Matthew to cover this, very special event. If anyone out there is listening and they want to, hook us up with a sponsorship deal for us to be able to repay Matthew the $3,500 for his Super Bowl ticket.
Yeah, I had assumed that I would be reimbursed when you mentioned this to me, but I have not received any compensation so far.
Yeah, my bad. We should have done this contractually. We'll get to that. Anyway, we appreciate your work. What else do you have going on in your life right now, man?
Starting a new segment that we always start a new segment. Our new segment is starting a new segment. Another indie Switch game I would like to comment on.
Oh yeah,
and recommend, called The Return of the Obra Dinn. I think it's also on PC and maybe consoles besides the Switch. I don't know.
Okay,
but it is a mystery puzzle.
Okay,
the premise is that a boat washes back up ashore and the entire crew is dead. 60 people are dead, and you have the ability to go when you find a corpse to that person's moment of death, and you have drawings of all the people on the ship, and you have to deduce from what people are saying and where they are in these scenes. You see who is who and how they died, and when you get a certain amount right, it'll confirm them for you, so you do get a little bit of feedback, but there's guesswork. you have to like intuit things from where people are like sleeping and how they talk to other people and stuff like that.
Right. Right.
It's pretty cool.
No, it sounds interesting, man.
Yeah,
I
and
would like to check this shit out for
it
sure.
looks really good. The art is excellent. So
Cool.
yeah.
Thank you for that. We'll for sure be checking that out. I haven't been playing anything new. I did start Rayman Legends a couple of weeks
Oh
ago, and
yeah.
I think it's fantastic, man. I like it. I would even say I would go as far as to say that I like it better than Tropical Freeze, just because Tropical Freeze is insane. It's amazing and everything. I just feel like dude, just not having a run button, like a dedicated like go faster button, that just messes the whole experience up for me somehow. Because I feel like you can't play around with like momentum, you know. Whereas literally every other previous Donkey Kong Country game was super like momentum based. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is weird.
It just trips with me. You know what I mean? Like it's a great game. It looks gorgeous. The set pieces are insane, but that I just can't. For some reason, I feel like I just can't get past that. And Rayman does have like it is a little bit more momentum focused, and I do like that. I find that like really entertaining with.
Yeah, Rayman is like kind of an oddball series, you know, like
It
not
is, man, for sure.
a lot of people are into it.
I remember owning the first one on the PS1, and it was kind of garbage. Like it was beautiful, and music was kind of cool, and like the pixel art was beautiful, but like the game itself was just, it was one of those weird platformers that just out of nowhere just gets unfairly hard. And then they have those weird 3D games that apparently are good, but like I don't care about playing them at all. Then they have the Rabbids, and those are fun games. At least the first one. The first one was pretty good.
Those are like Mario Party, right?
Yeah. I think I've only ever played the first one for the Wii, and I remember thinking that was pretty entertaining.
Well, now they're in like that weird XCOM thing.
Oh right, yeah, with
Mario,
which I haven't played, but I've heard is pretty good.
Spencer had it. He said it was fun.
Oh really? Yeah. I mean, I would be curious. It's just for strategy games like that, it's really hard for me to make up my mind because I've never been good at any strategy type game. So I feel like, however interested I may be, I feel like I'm just gonna suck at it, and I'll just stop playing like really early on. So, but yeah, and then they had Rayman Origins, which looks pretty good. I don't think I've ever played it, but Rayman Legends, I would for sure 100% recommend it, man. I find it really cool, really entertaining.
Yeah, I've heard positive things about it in general.
Yeah, and I got it for like $10, I think, on the New Year's sale.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, that's a good deal.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool. Any other updates before we move on to our special segment for this week, dog?
Yeah, sure. I've been like forgetting things. Like whenever I do laundry, it'll sit in the dryer washer for like hours now, and I just can't remember it. And I was like, okay, I need to do some like mental exercises. So I've gotten my chess app back up and running.
Oh, good.
And I'm going to learn all of the Japanese kana, hiragana and katakana as like a memorization challenge, so I can start remembering things better again.
Right.
Which is basically the alphabet.
Have you started it yet? Did you say you started? Sorry, I got.
Yeah, I know probably 20 so far.
Okay. Yeah.
And there's like 40 something total, and then there's little signs that modify the sound they make. So there's more like 100 total, but a lot of them are similar.
Okay.
So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. I will for sure remember to ask you to update us on your status with this whole brain training thing that you're undertaking. Have you had any oatmeal this week that you want to?
No, sorry. No okay. Oats.
Yeah, that's fair. I did see my dad having oatmeal the morning before I left for Choluteca, which is Friday, and it made me it made me crave it a lot. But then I haven't been home since until like this morning. But my mom makes pancakes every morning, so it wasn't an appropriate morning to have oatmeal, So maybe tomorrow. I don't know. I guess I'll update you and the show later on.
Yes, of course.
All right. Cool. So for this week, we planned a rather gimmicky segment, but I don't know. I was curious, and so on my social media, on my personal social media, and on the dedicated Dialogue Tree Instagram, I asked our followers if they had any questions that they were dying to ask Matthew Peterson and myself, and we did get a few responses. Some of them are pretty good. So you've seen some of them, or most of them, I think.
Was it before you sent me that picture of Seth Rogen sitting in a room with the cop taking it from behind?
I feel like it must have been after that.
I found it wherever it was.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so our wonderful friend Madeline Rose Doyle, who had mentioned to us previously that she was, open to appearing on the show, she asked us the following question: who the fuck do you think you are?
That's a good one.
Okay, do you have an answer prepared for this?
I'd like to think I'm myself. I don't know. I don't know. What do you think?
No, I mean, I don't think I don't know. I'm just a dude who like is trying to make the best out of my life. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, it's been a year since I've been back home, and things are fine, right? Like I'm living my life, and I'm doing my job a lot better than I was right at the beginning when I just started. But I think I'm doing better, and I'm feeling more comfortable. But I'm still not quite where I want to be. You know what I mean? So I'm just
Mhm.
trying to work my way into actually being able to do something and be around people and being in a place where I feel like maybe not 100% fulfilled, because I don't know that that's even possible, but like at least more fulfilled than I feel currently.
Right. That was an interesting take on that very aggressive question.
Yeah. Okay. Do you wanna introduce the next
Yeah,
question?
let's see what we got now. Oh, this is from Nick Kirshner. You guys have
Okay.
heard from him before.
Yeah.
Uh, Nick writes, "What is worse?"
Okay.
That's all this-
Yeah, and this is interesting because then I messaged him like specifically, what is worse, or what is worse between what or amongst what? And then he just replied asking what is worse.
Okay, well, I'll give it my best shot. Definitely, like it seems like a statement,
Oh, you're right. Okay.
but this is a Q&A segment, so I will attempt to give an answer. I think worse is today I booted up Tetris 99, and I was like, I had been playing some solo Tetris, and I was like, dude, I'm so good at Tetris. Like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
kick everyone's ass. And
Yeah.
immediately I die, and I'm so bad. And I mean, eventually I got to top 8 after a couple of
Oh
games,
shit,
and I
dude.
was like
Okay.
feeling it. But when I was in that top 8, like when I was playing, I was really sweating. I was feeling the heat, man. So I would definitely say that is worse.
Good.
That
Thank you.
feeling.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So for me, I guess what would be worse is being stuck in fucking Choluteca all day, man. All day. Uh, so Choluteca is this town down south Honduras, and then we had to be there on Friday for work. Which in the end, I don't know if I told you this, but we didn't even do anything because the teachers didn't
Right. You
show up to
said
the
nothing
present.
really happened.
Yeah, the teachers didn't show up to the presentation that we'd scheduled for them, so like we didn't do anything. And then we were supposed to come back on Saturday, but then the dude's car that we were riding with broke down in the middle. We were just like 20 minutes outside the city, and it broke down. And it was insanely hot, and we were basically stuck there until my parents showed up around 7. We didn't make it back home until around. I didn't make it back home until like midnight last night.
Uh-huh.
So for me, that would be what is worse.
Right. Okay. You know what's worse?
What is
You
worse?
and all your friends are headed to play your favorite board game, Pandemic 2 Legacy Edition. It might have been Pandemic 1 Legacy Edition, but
Yeah.
a legacy board game. This is at the time when the library is closed. We just have the key, so no one's gonna be there. It's nice and like air conditioned and quiet. And then your stupid roommate is like, "Hey, can I come with you guys?" And
Oh
then
no! Yeah.
follows you there, watches you play, gives you advice,
Oh
even
god.
though he's never played the game before, and eats all your
Yeah.
snacks, ruins the entire experience. That is worse.
That is worse. You know what is worse though,
It is excellent. Our next question is
dude?
from Cheyenne.
Wait, hold
What?
on. Do you know what is worse?
I thought I'd answered it.
No, okay. Let me just say this. It's pretty.
Okay.
It is pretty worse. I would say it is pretty worse. I would say when you're trying to play Shang 2 on the in the Fuller music room of the library, but then but then I show up and it's busy.
There's people actually using that room for something.
People are in the middle of the fucking summer, man.
Yeah, that is worse. Our next
Yeah.
question comes from Cheyenne. Cheyenne says, Sly Tycoon or Crash Bandicoot? Um, I assume he meant Sly Cooper because I looked up Sly Tycoon. He is a SoundCloud rapper. I don't think that's who he meant. Um,
Yeah. That
assuming
is
you mean Sly Cooper, I'm gonna have to go with Crash because I was not a PlayStation kid. But I was always super jealous when I saw the commercials because that game looked amazing. But
Yeah.
I have not actually engaged with it myself, so I cannot say if it's actually any good. It just looked really cool when I was a kid and I wanted it.
I did play. I did get the collection. I played through 1 and 2, and dude, I've come to like realize that they're good games, but they're definitely still like very much like archaic. You know what I mean? They're still very much like experimental era 3D platformers. You know what I mean? And so like they're good, and you like I did have fun with them. I haven't played through 3 yet, but I have played through 1 and 2, and they're good, and you will have fun with them. But there are also moments where you feel like, all right, this is just games shouldn't be like this anymore. You know what I mean?
So would you pick it over Crash or no?
Oh, sorry, I meant Crash.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant the Slide Cooper.
No. I was so no. So I meant Crash. Sorry.
Okay,
I
yeah.
haven't played a lot of Sly Cooper, but it seems to be. I understand it's quite similar. It's like level based like platforming. Out of like the three of them, I think I would definitely choose fucking damn it. I'm forgetting the one with the robot, whatever that game is called. I forget the name right now.
The one with
The
the
little
robot.
robot. They made a movie out of it recently. I can't. Why can't I remember the Ratchet and Clank?
Ratchet and Clank. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I can't help but notice that that was not of the two options Sean gave you
No.
here.
Yeah. You're right, Shine. I'm sorry to disappoint you. So between the two options, Sly Tycoon and Crash, assuming that he in fact meant the SoundCloud rapper, I would
Mhm.
100% have to go with Crash. I've never heard of Sly Tycoon, and honestly, it just doesn't sound like something that I would want to listen to anyway. So
Right. Yeah, I just skimmed it for a moment and it seemed awful. So I'm also gonna have to pick Crash on that one. Sorry, Cheyenne. Maybe it is Cheyenne SoundCloud, and that's why
oh shit. Okay.
he's trying to promote it.
Wait. Do you think if he's talking about Sly Tycoon, the SoundCloud rapper, do you think that there's another SoundCloud rapper that goes by Crash?
There probably is. Oh, let me look up Crash Bandicoot SoundCloud. It looks like it's just actually the music from Crash
From
Bandicoot.
Crash Bandicoot. Okay.
Yeah. If there
All
is
right.
someone, they've picked a terrible name because it's just buried in licensed music.
Yeah, right, true. Cool. So I
All right.
have one question that I must preface that it is not safe for work, and it comes from our wonderful friend Spencer Peterson Biddle, and he asks the
Yep.
following. He asks penis sizes and why. And I want to
And why?
yeah, I want to answer this
Mhm.
by giving a number, but then giving no units. So I'm just gonna
Right.
say, hey, I'm just gonna say 4
I'm gonna say
and
0F.
0F. Okay. Does that mean something to you though?
It's in a hexadecimal. It's not expressible in a in a in a base 10 system.
Okay. All right. And why?
Well, it doesn't fit into the God. What is base 10? What is the prefix?
I couldn't tell you, dude. Decimals? I don't know. Decimal system?
Yeah,
Decimal
it doesn't
number
fit
system?
into the decimal system. Thank you.
Okay. I have one question here, and this comes from one of my students from when I worked at my older high school. I don't know if I should say the name, so I'm not going
Mhm.
to. But it comes from him, and it says, "Thoughts on the Animal Crossing New Horizons Switch bundle?"
So that is the one where like the physical unit has like the Tom Nook sticker on it and everything, right?
Yeah, like the dock has
Yeah,
the.
the dock is like colored. The Switch is like has endings on it. Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts on the?
Oh, my thoughts. I think it looks so cute. It looks fantastic.
Yeah, right.
I just don't think it's worth going through the hassle of like selling my Switch to get it.
That is a
And I
hassle.
don't need to.
That is a hassle. I did that recently, and
Exactly.
I regretted it. Even though I was only switchless for like 2 or 3 weeks, I regretted it, man. Because during those 2 3 weeks, you and Cam and others were like, or at least seemed to be very active, and I just couldn't
Mhm.
join you guys because I didn't have my
Right,
fucking
right.
Switch.
And it looks nice. I know Cam's friend Anthony is getting it.
Oh, right, he said that, yeah,
It's very cute.
and I'm kind of jealous.
I don't know if you are. I will get Animal Crossing. I think I haven't played one in so long.
I've never played any Animal Crossing, but I gotta say, I am kind of buying into the hype because even though I've never played one, I know you and a lot of like our immediate friends like seem to enjoy it a lot. So, and not only that, but like a lot of the people, a lot of like the gamer YouTube people that I follow, they all seem to be hyping it up and stuff. And I'm sorely buying into, and it seems like you and Cam and Midge will be acquiring it. So like, I
Yeah.
want to be playing it around with you guys.
I will probably pick up probably a couple days after day one, just in case it's like truly something
Bucky
horrible
or
goes
whatever.
wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's coming out on like the same day as Doom Eternal, so I'm gonna have to
Oh, right.
spend like $120 on it. But whatever.
Right. No, and that's actually not a bad idea because I was an asshole and I bought Bloodstained on the Switch day one. We all know the disaster that was.
Right.
To this day, I don't think it's still, at least for my standards, it's still not playable. Like you can, right? You can mechanically, physically get through the entire game, but like load times are still kind of a pain in the ass. There's still a little. I still feel like there's a little bit of latency issues in the control, so it just feels really awkward. And so after that shit, I figured I thought to myself that I was never gonna buy a game on day one anymore, unless there's been like reviews already out and whatever. You know what I mean? Like before release date.
I guess to conclude, I will say this bundle seems like whenever you get a pre-order bundle, they all like it's just garbage, right? But this seems like
Legitimately,
you're paying for equivalent value.
Yeah.
With this order.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I guess I'll field the next one. Cosmetologist, and they spelled cosmetologist wrong, I believe, with a GYST.
Oh yeah.
Says cosmetologist _ York says, "You look good. I would like to offer a discount of 10% for all cosmetology services," and they spelled it right there.
Oh right, I didn't even notice.
I mean, thank you, Gabin Beauty. Their little picture says Gabin. I assume that's their name.
Right.
So thank you. It's a very generous offer, and I would love 10% off your services. So thank you for the question there.
Excellent. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so for our next question, it comes from a user that goes by miracle_lovely_enjoy. There's some characters that I can't read, and then it says dpad328, which is my handle, and then there's like a little waving hand emoji, and then there's like just another paragraph of some language that I unfortunately cannot read or understand. So
it's like foreign characters.
Yeah, so I guess thank you for your participation.
You know what? Throw that bad boy in Google Translate. Let's see what we get.
I don't know how to do that because I have it open on my phone. Let me see. Maybe I can open it. All right. Do you want to?
Yeah. Let me throw in another question while you.
Right. In the meantime, yeah.
This I think says from one of your other students as well. Is a window a really bad mirror, or is a mirror a really bad window? Excellent question. I'm gonna have to say a mirror is a really bad window.
Okay. Why? Why is that? Why do you think so?
Well, you can't see anything through it.
You're just seeing like a fucking reflection. I don't know how to do this. It's not copying or pasting, and I can't open it on my browser.
So tune in next week where we'll be doing a little follow-up segment where we get this translated and we cover just a couple more questions that Daniel happened to miss.
But then I would say I could argue the opposite. I could argue that a window is a really bad mirror because you can vaguely see a reflection of stuff on the window, but then it's vague, right? It's not quite clear.
Here's what I'm thinking. A window is a worse mirror than a mirror is a window. The window is more useful because you can see through it and you can kind of see yourself. But if you're trying to look through the mirror, you're not going to get anywhere.
You know, when it's like hot inside, you can just open a window and like you can let the nice summer breeze in, you know?
Right. What are you going to open the mirror?
Yeah, right. You can't fucking open a mirror, right?
Unless it's like a medicine cabinet, but then you won't get any cooler.
Yeah, right. It's just going to give you a bunch of drugs that you can overdose on.
You could do that without the window. Yeah. I mean, the mirror, excuse me.
Right.
Next question from Mad. Does the what who? A good question. So I'm gonna have to say probably, yeah.
See, I have to go with no because there's just something with these W questions, man. There's just inexplicable. But I had this in a dream once. I had a weird dream once that is just, and I can't quite put it into words because you know how dreams are, man. It's just like a lot of you. Sometimes you can like experience these things, but it's just really hard to describe. But it was like a very spiritual thing for me, and I gotta say that the what does not who for sure.
Okay.
But I mean
that you've thought about this more than I have.
Yeah, I mean that's just me though, you know, and that's just the one dream that I had. That's just my experience. So if anyone has anything that they want to add to this what whoing that they want to add to the conversation, like, comment, and subscribe your thoughts on this.
Please follow up and harass Daniel.
Yeah.
All right, what else we got?
I have one question right here that comes from my friend Nicholas Glade, who is actually a kid who graduated from Clark University as well. And he says the following: who would win in a fight, Big Chungus or Real Madrid era Jose Mourinho?
Okay.
Do you have a take?
Okay, so I'm thinking Big Chungus is just Bugs Bunny, and Bugs Bunny is like immortal and a genius.
Yeah, right.
And can like
and
bend
also like
space time around him.
I was gonna say he's also like a shapeshifter type character, right?
And also, if you punched him, I bet he's like Thanos. You just can't hurt him. He's so He's so round. He's so rotund and
right
and squishy. You just deflect it.
And he looks heavy. If you ask me, Big Chungus, he does look quite heavy, right? He does look like someone who could like take a punch or two,
right?
Without, Whereas Jose Mourinho is just like a lame ass like human being. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck is a 40-something?
I think he could force a draw. He could probably just force it to time if he never approached.
Okay, right.
If he went in, if he gave Big Chungus the chance, I don't think he would have the speed to knock him out and dodge a counterattack.
Yeah, I would have to agree.
All right, well, that was an easy one.
Dude, I have one question that I don't think I sent you. And it comes from our wonderful friend Megan, who goes by Nutmeg Megan on her social media.
That's good.
And it says, can you rate your last pizza slice on a scale from pepperoni to 2 pepperonis?
Oh, okay. Interesting. Please go first while I try to remember the last time I had pizza.
I had pizza on Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken, for the Vida against Motagua game. And 2 pepperonis, man. 100% 2 pepperonis. It was that good. I might even go as far to say that it was 3 pepperonis, considering that it was Little Caesars pizza. And I thought it was that good, right? Considering it was Little Caesars, which like the standard for Little Caesars is so low, and I enjoyed it so much that I would, go as far as to say it might even be 3 pepperoni.
I do remember it was this week I had pizza. I'm going to have to give it a 1.75 pepperonis. It was like a margarita pizza, but
the fuck is that?
It's a white pizza.
As opposed to what?
Look, just Google margarita pizza, and when you look at the picture, you'll be like, okay, I have seen this.
Okay, okay, elaborate, please. Sorry, while I do.
But the reason I'm docking a few points is the crust was awfully thick, and I'm not really a deep dish person. Okay. And so I'm gonna have to give them a little off from that, but everything else is good, well seasoned, good toppings. So yeah, 1.75 pepperonis.
Where was this from? Just for reference for anyone who may be looking to.
I think this was just DiGiorno, if I'm not wrong. This was just an oven pizza that I made.
Okay, cool. One next question comes from my friend Eduardo Valle. He's also a fellow Clarkie. He graduated a few years before I did. I don't remember how many, but at least 2 years. And he says the following. He says, Obi-Wan equals Master Kenobi. Mace Windu equals Master Windu. If so, Master Yoda equals what?
Okay, so let me take a crack at it. My interpretation is that he's either asking what is Yoda's first or last name, right? I guess, first of all, is Yoda his first name or his last name? And second of all, what is the corresponding missing component as such? I'm going to have to say it's his first name. If I was like 1,000 years old and all my friends were dead, I would definitely go by my first name, not my last name.
Right, that's fair. Yeah.
As for Yoda's last name, maybe like Jensen? It could be something. Yeah, I'll lock that one in. Jensen.
Let it, like Saxon. That's a very Saxon.
Right. The galaxy changes a lot in 1,000 years, if you know what I'm saying.
So if I had to say it, I would say I don't know. I see Yoda more as a Yoda Abimbola type last name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yoda Abimbola for sure.
That's not bad.
Dude, I have one question that I do want to tackle. And it comes from your significant other, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah. Wait, let me look at we'll read it.
It says, which chipmunk is getting the best head?
Yeah, I have to look up the picture so I can give it accurate.
I already pulled it up. And I don't know the chipmunks.
Alvin is the red one.
Oh,
Theodore is the green one. And Simon is the blue one.
I got to say, dude, Alvin, man. Because he seems to be holding on for dear life. You know what I mean?
He does look like he's about to pass out.
Yeah. And I feel like that, right? He's just holding on to like the couch in that way. It just makes me feel like there's got to be something going on that he feels like he has to like hold on to something to avoid just like dying. You know what I mean? Just like
Yeah,
collapsing.
I do like that answer, but I think I'm gonna have to say Theodore, the green one in the middle, because
Yeah.
he does look like he's about to cry.
Okay.
He looks like he's just he's seeing the face of God for the first time or something.
Okay.
He looks like he's having a real experience.
Yeah,
Simon
that's
just kind of
fair.
looks like he's peeing.
He kind of looks like in pain too.
Yeah,
Like
he doesn't look like he's having that good a time.
I don't associate his face with like pleasure. He looks like he's about to like sneeze. And this is I don't know. I don't associate that with pleasure at all.
Yeah, but
So yeah,
thank you. Good question.
good question.
I have one more of the ones that you've sent me. I don't know if you have any.
Yeah.
Does society, unconscious or not, privilege men?
Okay, I think I just by reading it, I don't think I understood what they meant. This is my friend from home. My friend
Right.
Sanpei.
They're asking,
So he's asking if
does
society.
society, comma.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Good question. Shit.
It depends what you mean by consciously, but that's clearly not what you care about. I would say it's
Right.
pretty overt.
Right.
But yeah, I think in almost all situations, pretty much. I mean, I live in America, so I can't speak to the rest of the world. Like, but I think just in general, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I would have to agree. I don't. Of course, I am a dude, so I can't quite like speak from my own experiences, and I don't want to say a lot because again, I'm a dude, so I don't know that I can really like touch upon this. But like, I understand that from what I've heard of other people's experiences, I understand that yeah, just men tend to be more privileged generally in every aspect of life, right? And like work.
Even just you have to it takes so long to use the bathroom when you're a woman. There's always a line.
That's right.
But yeah, it just seems harder to get like a decent paying job,
or at least a job that pays the same that it would pay a dude, for the
right?
exact same work.
And I think it's more skewed by the fact that there's less education in like STEM and business and
True.
high paying fields. So it's like
Right.
the average is lower because there's just less like push for women to learn that at a young age.
Right. Because they're not encouraged to go for that field, for those fields and stuff like that. Yeah.
I think there was like one girl in all my computer science classes.
Shit, dude. Yeah, good question. We're coming down to like the last few. I think we can tackle them. So this one comes from my wonderful friend Shadi. He went to WPI, which is where I knew him from. Went to Worcester. He says, "So does this mean Palpatine had sex when looking all deformed and ugly?" I don't. I'm not very I'm not very savvy in terms of the Star Wars lore, so I don't know if there is any evidence that Palpatine, in fact, had like I don't know if there's any characters that are his children, so I couldn't really tell you.
Just suffice to say, yes.
Okay.
I don't want to spoil anything for you, but yeah, Palpatine is the father of a character in the film, and Palpatine was deformed, in the prequels, like a long time ago.
Right. So he must have had sexual relationships with someone.
Unless he went to a sperm bank. I don't know how it works in the future.
Yeah, but then the character wouldn't be their child biologically. And I don't know if that like goes into anything.
Well, I don't they don't go into the paperwork of it in the film.
Okay. Yeah, I mean I guess it's ambiguous like that, right? I guess the director consciously made that choice.
I don't think the director made that video. Well, anyways, we're not going to talk about this right now. I would say absolutely yes, and that is weird. Yes.
All right, thank you. Yeah, thank you for cutting me off, you bastard. So we have that, and then my friend Krista, she asked the following question. She asks, I guess she's asking what I prefer between Nakey Jakey or Hobo Johnson. I'm not familiar with Hobo Johnson. I don't know who.
Yeah, I'm not yet. Let me do a little Google.
Yeah, real quick. I know Gus Johnson. I don't know that it's the same person.
Okay, Hobo Johnson, Frank Lopez Jr., American vocalist.
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately,
I guess, yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm not familiar. I haven't heard a lot of Nakey Jakey's music. I did hear that single that he put out like a couple months ago, and I thought that was decent. But I do like his. I do find his content on YouTube very, very entertaining. So just from that fact, I guess I would have to go with Nakey Jakey.
I've just opened one of his YouTube videos and I'm skimming it, and I am gonna have to go with Hobo Johnson. He's
shit.
got like a mild, he's got like a mild afro. He's smoking a joint in the music video.
Yeah.
He's got a horrible, like, ugly Christmas sweater, but it's actually like a button down. It just has like a really bad pattern on it.
Okay.
And I like what I'm seeing here. I'm definitely picking Hobo Johnson.
Okay. I guess I'll have to check him out because I didn't really look into anything beyond, like the first couple results that you get when you Google search him.
Now, this video has a nice vibe. It's like him. He's just in his backyard.
Cool. Last couple of questions. I have one that comes from my friend here from home. Her name is Daniela Valladares, and she's asking this in Spanish. How do you say? So, okay, just for context. So you know pajamas, right? You know of them. You've worn them before.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so here I don't know if this is a thing in other Spanish speaking countries, but here for sure, people say empayamarse as a verb that means to throw your pajamas on. So her question
on the self, right? Like mase is myself.
Yeah, right. It's a reflexive verb, exactly.
Yeah.
So her question is how would one translate empayamarse to English? If there is like one word.
One verb?
Yeah, or one word, I guess. All she's saying is how does one say empayamarse in English? That is her question.
I guess I would in pajama myself.
Is that your final answer? Or you want to think about it a little bit?
I mean, I'll think about it, but if you only give me one word, it's hard to without hyphenating it.
No. I mean, you take it. I'm not giving you any any restrictions here. You come up with the best answer. Yeah.
Oh, you said make it one word.
No. I mean, you're right. I did say that, but forget that.
Okay. Well, I mean, if I was just saying casually, I'd say throw the jammies on.
Okay, that's good.
That's how a hip kid would say it.
Okay.
But maybe a businessman would say, I'm putting on my pajamas.
Okay, good. Excellent.
If you want it to be like as literal as possible and silly, you could say like in pajama myself, which it doesn't really mean anything, but someone might understand what you mean.
Yeah.
Or
you
perhaps pajama hyphen up.
You might have to, if you use your first option, you might have to give a little bit of an explanation.
Right, which kind of ruins the point.
They'd probably look at you and be like, what the fuck did you just say to me? You can just say, throw the jammies on. And they'd be like, oh, you're right. Okay.
Why did you say so in the first place?
That's right. Yeah, right.
I like the question, though.
Yeah. I love that. That's actually one of my favorite. Again, I don't know if this is a real word. I guess I haven't taken the time to corroborate it against the Royal Academy of Spanish dictionary. But it is like a Honduran thing, at least, that I know for sure. And I do like it. I think it's really cute. And we have last question, which comes from Shadi's brother, who goes by the name of Gali. And I guess this question would be exclusive to me, but you can 100% feel free to give your take on it. He says, how is the caliche in Choluteca? And so this is weird because I understand caliche as a word for slang. So I understand caliche as a word for slang. You know what I mean? Like Honduran caliche, you would
like the word
Honduran
the
slang.
Word itself means slang.
Yeah, the word slang. That's how I understand it. But I'm getting a sense that he could also be asking me about how the heat is, because heat, how's the weather, how's the heat is calor. So I don't know if he's using caliche as a word for calor. So I'm gonna give two takes here, right? So if he's talking about slang, if he's asking me about slang, I haven't really heard any slang that is different from the slang here in Tegucigalpa or in San Pedro where he lives. So I would say it's the same. If he's talking about heat though, holy fucking hell, it's awful. Fucking awful. It's so hot there. And it's dry heat and there's no breeze. It's just fucking awful. And I hate it.
You've definitely given us the scoop on the heat. So I'll just speak to the slang briefly. This would include both of you, but just hearing the pajama word, obviously there is some hot wordplay going on around your area. So I'd expect the slang to be equally vibrant and thriving.
You're right. No, you're right. Maybe I just haven't spent a lot of time with the locals over there. But you're right. I would expect them to have their own set of cool slang words that I just maybe don't know about yet. But yeah, good take, good answer, and good questions. I believe we've covered all of them.
Okay, great. Those were a lot of good ones.
I hope we answered them to the best of your ability. Like, I hope you're satisfied with the answers that we provided. Once again, there
Yeah.
were questions in there were questions that came from random Instagram users that I don't know who typed in languages that I can't understand or read.
Okay, well, maybe, next time we'll do a little Google Translate, like a follow-up just for briefly, see if we can understand what they were saying at all.
Right. So we can tackle these next week, maybe. All right. So what did we learn today, man?
I mean, I learned a new verb. That's pretty cool. Not that I speak
Right.
a lot of Spanish,
Right.
and I might get some weird looks if I went to a different country. I don't
Right.
know.
Cool.
But yeah, we learned that the fans have some great stuff to ask, some great ideas to share,
Yeah.
and even some average ones. So we got a nice mix. So thank you, everyone.
Cool. Any closing remarks, dude?
I'll just save any sort of hot takiness for when we have an actual one. We'll just skip it this episode.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good.
I don't want to overload it because we already had so much unique, fresh content.
Yeah.
Please comment, subscribe.
That's right. Thank you. And also don't forget to tune in next week when we'll be talking about my experiences with the coronavirus, which I have been diagnosed with earlier today.
Right.
So I'll let you know how it all progresses. And
very tasteful joke there.
All right, man. Excellent. All right. Thank you for tuning in today. And I hope you're all happy, and I hope you don't get diagnosed with the coronavirus anytime soon.
Stay safe.
All right.
See ya.
Peace out.